For August 2014, this is CTA News in Review. Mayor Rahm Emanuel, U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx, and CTA President Forrest Claypool announced the CTA will receive $35 million in a new so-called core capacity federal funds, the first phase of one of the largest capital projects in CTA history. The Red and Purple Modernization Program is one of several Red Line projects that have been undertaken since 2011 to modernize the city's busiest rail line. The first phase of the project, called RPM for short, will fully rebuild the Lawrence, Argyle, Berwyn, and Bryn Mawr stations and adjacent tracks and signal system. The first phase will also include the construction of a bypass north of the Belmont station to accommodate future ridership growth and alleviate train traffic congestion where red, purple, and brown line tracks intersect. The RPM project will allow CTA to accommodate more riders on this busy corridor over the next 60 to 80 years, benefiting generations of customers and contributing to Chicago's economic vibrancy. The new federal funding will cover preliminary design and engineering and environmental planning. This work is in addition to the major reconstruction of the Wilson Station, which will begin this fall. As part of the CTA's plan to extend the Red Line on the south side from 95th Street to 130th Street, the CTA announced that it has narrowed down 5 of its preliminary options that had been under consideration to 2 for the proposed Red Line extension project. The CTA will continue to study the 2 options as part of the federal environmental review process that both include extending the line by 5.3 miles and building 4 new stations near 103rd Street, 111th Street, Michigan Avenue, and 130th Street. The current estimated cost of the project is $2.3 billion. The Red Line extension will provide rapid transit rail service to an area that does not have direct CTA rail service, improving access to jobs and education and fostering economic development. The CTA continued its Your New Blue project by announcing that 2 of the CTA's oldest rail stations will receive major renovations, and a third will receive upgrades starting in September as part of Mayor Emanuel's $492 million modernization program for the O'Hare branch of the Blue Line. The $33 million station improvement plan for the California, Western, and Damon Blue Line stations will provide customers a safer, more comfortable transit experience. In order to complete the major repairs and improvements planned for the California and Damon station houses and platforms, the CTA announced that the California station will close for 42 days on September 4th and will reopen October 16th. After that, the Damon station will close for 63 days on October 20th and will reopen December 22nd. California and Damon will both get extensive station house and platform upgrades and repairs that include structural repairs as well as improved lighting, signage, more turnstiles, and new bike racks. The Western station underwent a major renovation in 2001 and needs less extensive improvements and repairs, so the station will remain open throughout the construction period. Mayor Emanuel, CTA President Claypool, and CTA Chairman Terry Peterson unveiled the newly renovated Harrison Red Line station following the completion of a $10 million modernization of the 70-year-old station. To create a brighter, cleaner, and safer travel environment for the 1.4 million people who use the station each year, the CTA added new LED lighting, new ceramic wall tile, new granite flooring, and made other improvements and repairs throughout the station. The CTA has also added larger train tracker digital displays to entrances and mezzanines, and increased the number of security cameras and emergency telephones to enhance safety for customers. The CTA launched the second phase of a major $71.2 million Brown and Purple Line improvement project to eliminate slow zones and create a smoother, more reliable ride for customers between Armitage and the Merchandise Mart. The CTA awarded a $40 million contract to Keywood Infrastructure, which will begin major track improvement work along what's called the Ravenswood Connector, which carries about 700 Brown and Purple Line trains each weekday. The track work begins as CTA iron workers have been making repairs and upgrades on the 100-year-old elevated structure between Armitage and the Merchandise Mart for nearly a year. The entire project is expected to be completed by the end of 2015, and the result of the 2-year effort will be improved speed and reliability for Brown and Purple Line trains. The CTA reminds students and their parents that they are eligible to receive student-reduced fares of just 75 cents to ride CTA trains and buses on school days. To get the student rate, parents and students need to just take a few easy steps. Most students will get their student fare cards directly from their schools. The CTA also announced the transit agency will once again provide students with free CTA bus and train rides on the first day of school on September 2nd. The goal of the First Day Free Rides program, which Mayor Emanuel and the CTA began in the fall of 2011, is to promote attendance on the first day of school, which sets the tone for the rest of the school year. Beyond September 2nd, the 75-cent student fare is available for full-time students ages 7 to 20, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. until 8:30 p.m., on days school is in session, with the use of their Student Vetra card. For more information on obtaining 75-cent student fares, students and their parents should contact their school. They can also get more information on the CTA website at www.transitchicago.com/students. For all your breaking CTA news, go to transitchicago.com/news and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.